Well, I'm pleased to be here on the 25th anniversary of the first jet plasma. It was a lovely day in June, and it was a Saturday, but nevertheless quite a few people had come in to witness this first attempt. In many ways it was groundbreaking because nobody had ever built nor operated such a big machine of this type ever before. And we were starting out on a long track with many experiments ahead of us, which, if successful and the machine lived up to its design parameters, then it would pave the way for the next machine, which would be a demonstration reactor, and then possibly 30, 40 years down the line, a controlled fusion reactor for electricity generation. I remember that many of the controls had just been rigged up because we wanted to get a plasma shot in before, I guess, a lot of people went off for their summer holidays, and so a lot of the equipment had not been commissioned. So we had some rather simple devices to monitor whether or not we were producing a plasma. And I remember the first shot, we had a TV camera inside the Torus hall because that was locked. Nobody could be in the hall when the machine was operating. So we had a camera in there, just a TV camera, just to see that everything was all right. And on the first shot, when the magnetic field was switched on, there was a suppressed gasp because the TV screen seemed to show the whole machine tilting. And then there was a big burst of laughter as people realized that the field was distorting the image that the camera was relaying to us. So indeed, it wasn't that the machine was tilting, it was the magnetic field was distorting the camera image. We had a voltmeter connected to a little coil. The coil was inside the vacuum vessel, and what we hoped was that the plasma current would cause the needle on this voltmeter to flick as it picked up the current flowing through the plasma. We also had something looking into a window through the machine, and using an optical fibre, the light was collected by a lens and relayed back to the diagnostic area, where it was converted to an electrical signal using what we call a photomultiplier, and this was then connected to a recording oscilloscope. So whilst there was some doubt as to whether the needle had kicked or not when we made our first plasma attempt, the oscilloscope showed a flash of light lasting for about 1/10 of a second. And we were able to take Polaroid photographs of this trace, and quite a few of them, and hand them around to people. So there was great animation and discussion and some hilarity at this. And then in about 4 or 5 minutes, when the automatic data collection system had worked and had collected the data, stored it, and then started an automatic analysis program, we had confirmation that indeed there had been a plasma current of about 16,000 amps. Very small for the first attempt. We subsequently went up to about 7 million amps, but these were early days. I also recall that at about lunchtime we stopped for a bite to eat, and the head of our control and data acquisition system, his wife, he was Italian, and of course so was she. She had prepared what appeared to be gallons of homemade minestrone soup, and this she distributed to the grateful people, as well as some Italian-style bread. So this gave us sustenance to go on into the afternoon, and then at about 4 o'clock we all stopped and had a glass or two of celebratory champagne from the director's own cellar at Jet, his official cellar at Jet. So at the end of it, we all went home thinking it had been quite a noteworthy day.